Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this episode, we had the pleasure of speaking with Omar Fahmi, the former president of ISS Yemen and founder of Edumize, a student agency that helps people get into Malaysian universities. We talked about the importance of leadership, the mindset needed to achieve one's goals, and how to tackle problems as college students. Omar also shared his experiences of adjusting to a new environment and the significance of embracing and adapting to the local culture. We hope you enjoy this episode and gain valuable insights into achieving success as a university student. Make sure to follow us on Instagram for the latest updates. Grab a snack and enjoy!
You are now listening to the Castronics podcast,
hosted by MBS, Mariam and Hajar.
Weekly episodes are coming up, so stay tuned.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Welcome back to the Castronics podcast. So today we're having a very special guest. Welcome to the table, Omar Fahmi.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing, Omar?
Just woke up. Thank you. do people know what time?
I don't think they do.
Okay, I just woke up because it is fasting, so don't ask me about how I feel. Hopefully my mind is there.
It's fine. We can relate. We can relate.
Yeah, we can.
So please, Omar, before we start, can you please tell us a bit about yourself and how you became involved in organizing events? Because I think that's how people know you in UTM itself.
Okay, so let's introduce myself a bit.
Sure.
My name is Omar Fahmi. I'm from Yemen, and I'm a bachelor biomedical engineering student. In my final year. Hopefully, I graduate this semester.
Inshallah.
There are so many challenges coming these days. So, for your question, it's funny because I did not intentionally start. It just happened. So, let's start from the beginning. I came here and that will lead us to why I made the company I made.
Sure.
When I came here, I came through an agent company, and I was in India at that time. I was searching about universities. I was very much passionate about studying in Malaysia.
So you were in India?
I was in India. So by I don't know how by coincidence I found this YouTube video, and then there is the contact. I contact them. I didn't know how this thing worked, this agent thing worked. So they didn't even elaborate to me anything. I just contacted them. I told them I want to study in Malaysia, which university. I was about to study in Otara, UTAR, Otar.
Oh,
University.
Abdurrahman.
Yeah, Tunku Abdurrahman. That was another alternative university that offers biomedical engineering. So I didn't know anything about UTM. I didn't even read about UTM in my 6 months search there. Until this agent brought it to me and they told me, yeah, your qualifications are up to the level of this university. I said, I went to dig and then searched. Oh yeah, it looks nice. It's just very
Looks
perfect.
decent.
Yeah. So I went there and I came here. He did not tell me anything. When I reached here, those who are working with him in the agent company, they have to take care of me. That's what I figured out later on. But at that time, I didn't know. I thought they are just, that's their job. That's it. Once they give me the offer letter, then I'm done. But that was not it. Actually, they should have at least give me guidance through WhatsApp. I'm not talking taking me everywhere. Yeah. I'm not a kid. So just WhatsApp. You go here, you go there, you do this, you do that. They did not. So I struggled. And in Yemen, and I want you to be in my shoes for a moment. In Yemen, I was also working and studying at the same time. Many things, working in so many things. So when I left there, I left to India.
When did you leave Yemen?
That was 2018, August.
So 2018, you left Yemen for India?
To India, yeah.
And when did you leave India?
In India, February 2019.
So you spent about a year in India?
No, less, 6 months, from August to February. No, just 6 months. Oh my God, they will say these engineers are very bad in math.
It's fine. It's Ramadan. You understand?
Yeah, so as a person of my mind at that time and, mindset, it's very hard to leave money, especially as a very young teenager who is already getting money by his own, and then just to go and continue his study. That wasn't something cool, especially in Yemen. Okay, it's not also beneficial, very beneficial.
Did you get backlash for that? Did you get criticized by the people around you?
By my family, yep. 99.9 from my family are telling me, why the heck? You have a life already. You are working, you have a business, you have your own car, you have the house, you have everything. You just get married, stay, done. You're done. You are there. Why do you want this? So I tell them, no, I must. By the way, I said 99.9 because there is only my father.
Who stood by you? By your
I
side?
said, no, you must continue this. Whether you want to continue here, you want to travel abroad, I'm with you in whatever you want. I said, hey, listen, if I'm going to spend 4 years, I have to spend it wisely in the right place with the right program. Otherwise, there's no, why would I would take the headache.
It would be a waste.
So yeah, when it was very difficult to leave. And then in India, I started from zero, means I didn't know anyone, but I started from zero. I had some few connections there, I know already, but that was the start. So in India was somehow, from the beginning, it wasn't my destination. India was not my destination. It was an option. So when I came here, that was the very zero. Like I started from very, very zero. You know, you remember when you are in first year primary school and then you are in the class for the first day, you don't know anyone, you feel very uncomfortable for the whole hours. Yeah. That's like me. First day in here in Malaysia. So I supposed to get the guide from the guys, but I didn't. So I struggled a lot to a point where I had a fever in Kedioja. I was staying in Kedioja, and then I had a fever, and then I didn't have anyone. I didn't know even where to go to buy the medicine. I didn't know, and the fever was very, very very tough. I was
acute.
To a point where shivering, acute.
There was nobody around you to help you or like to give you guidance on?
Nope. Even those who were in KDOJ, they were Nigerians and some locals, but they are a bit master and PhD.
Yeah.
So
much older than you.
Much older. So and their timing is not like my time. And me knocking their door, was very far away. So I had to figure it myself from the beginnings. That's how it started. From there, I had to to make it up. I'm a person of headache. Even my friends, they tell me you like trouble, but I like troubles not to make them. I like troubles to give me the trouble so that my pages. I don't like to even notifications. My friends, they notice this. I cannot ignore notifications. I have notification syndrome. I have to check every notification from any application.
Don't you put your phone in silent?
Even if I do that.
You're going to check it out?
I already set it in the settings that these apps should not show me any notifications because I don't care about it. And these apps, like let's say WhatsApp messages, every single message. That's why they tell me when I was the president in ISS Yemen, they tell me, oh, you are always replying fast.
Online, yeah.
It's just because it's notification.
Yeah.
Technology made it easy for us. Why not use it? I don't like to ignore.
But don't you think I think there stems a fear of missing out? Don't you think you have that?
Actually, if I miss something out, I will not sleep properly. I feel like there is something I should finish today.
So you have fear of missing out?
Yeah, fear of missing out.
FOMO.
That's why I don't like sleeping. Yeah, sleeping and eating.
Even when you sleep, you feel like you're missing out on something.
Yeah, I'm missing
Wow.
things. I'm missing a lot of things. The first thing of it was of absolute time. If I just have time. Like now, I wish I have the Naruto, Do you watch Naruto? Oh, come on.
I know about it, but I don't watch it.
Oh, okay. Naruto, he has this, ability to make himself copies.
Yeah, to duplicate himself.
Yeah, I wish I have copies for myself.
Oh, so one that sleeps, one that stays awake, yeah.
Yeah. So from there I had to with this mindset I have to do it and then just struggle and then go everywhere and ask everyone I see that who's even a bit better than me. I have to ask him about his experience so at least I have somehow these briefings at the beginning, they do it for you in every beginning. For any new student, they do briefings.
Yeah.
The orientation period.
Oh yeah, orientation.
I didn't know anything about
Oh, so you did not attend that?
I was out of coverage. I was on my planet. I was off, totally off. And then they tell me, oh, you didn't attend. Attend what? I didn't receive emails. And actually, this is another thing that most of the new students, they don't care about. Email. I didn't use to check my email. Only if there is something I'm waiting for. Something I applied and then I'm waiting for an email, then I will check my email. Otherwise, I will just leave it there. It's full of unread messages, which is very abnormal for me. I have to read. Yeah, I have to check. So I was not reading. And at the end, I figured out that they did not send to me in the first place because the email the agent put is not my email. It's
Was
their email.
his?
Yeah. So I was not receiving
They never
anything.
received them.
Yeah, even if I checked.
And he was not forwarding them to you?
No, he didn't. I won't say that it's his mistake. I will say it's his staff who are here, who are managing his operations in here. mistake. Because for me, I would not know. As any new student, you never know. You need to tell him. And that was the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. So since then,
We'll go about it. We'll talk about it
all right.
later. inshallah.
Let's give it its time.
Sure.
So from then I went, my first, I took foundation, bridging. The bridging was tough, very tough. I barely succeed and passed. I remember I got 53 in physics.
Okay, that was just
praying.
enough.
Just enough. It was Eid, I was in KL, enjoying my time, not really. And then I was waiting for this result to come. It went out, I didn't check it. I went to the doctors. What's up, chat? I told him, please, is it this or this? He said, go and check it.
Check it yourself.
Yeah, I went to check it and then it's 53. Oh, alhamdulillah. 53 in physics.
Alhamdulillah.
And that was mostly because of language. I didn't study in English. Yeah.
I see. So you left
Even
Yemen and you had no background in English.
Nope.
You went to India during
study
the period.
English.
Oh, so you studied
Yeah.
English.
I mean, I had some fundamentals from Yemen.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough to.
It's not academical English.
Yeah, studying the language is different from studying the science itself.
Exactly. Yep. So it's like math. The sin sad. We have sin sad. You have XY in here.
Oh.
Yeah, XY was very new for me. Very new. This is a very simple example. So imagine. That was the reason. Other than that, physics. I was the first in my classes for high school.
MashaAllah.
Only in physics. Even the teacher, when he's announcing the papers, he said the best has to be at the end, and then I was the last one.
Wow, MashaAllah.
Every time. So physics was not a problem. Language was a problem. I struggled, and also that continued in my first semester. I struggled again. I failed math, as a matter of fact. Yep. But see, if you notice, most of the people, if you ask him about any success he had or he's had, he will tell you that I was. And mostly that is very bad, to a point where you will never imagine. Like here, I'm sure like at least one of your parents or something, he had a very bad past.
Upbringing.
Yeah, he will tell you that we started with, we had to walk every day to school. There was no bus.
That's so cliche because they all say it now. So
I mean, but
don't really know what.
That was very tough. That made them reach to this point that they are now. Other than that, if they were very spoily, they had their chauffeur or they have their own car, I don't think they will be able to reach. I just my personal thoughts.
I think you're right. They wouldn't be as achieving as they are.
Yeah.
Because struggles is what makes you achieve your goals at the end of the day.
Exactly. That's what I believe. That's why I look for troubles. Troubles make me more, it does the finishing to my personality and my life. From there, that's academically, but by the way, even ISS Yemen, I didn't know anything about ISS Yemen until I was the treasurer. I got to be the treasurer of ISS Yemen in 2021.
How did that happen? Like, how did you get involved into being an executive member of the International Student Society of Yemen?
They contacted me. And before the election period, everyone is coming to collect his team for the election. Both presidents who were elected, who were going toward the election, contacted me. They said, "How about you be one of the team?" I told them, "What is this? What is this team? What should I do? Is it big? Is it small? What is that?" I said, "No, just how about you be the treasurer?" I said, "Okay, for both of them." So if this president win, I'll be the.
So you were gonna get there. You wanna get there.
Yeah. That was I was the only one. So that's how I got it. As easy as that. I didn't know anything about it, but I had experience with about dealing with money since I had worked before.
Okay, so I have a question. Apart from everything you do and everything you still have to do, how do you feel right now, like mentally?
Mentally. See, let's divide this to 3 sections, which is the past, the present, and
the future.
The past, I'm very proud of it, and I'm actually, grateful that everything was happening for a reason. Everything. Even before I traveled from Yemen, I learned to do things that I never knew that I would need it one day. Just like these financial matters. Otherwise, like now, today, I will need someone to do. If I don't have these skills, I will need someone to do me the financial accounting thing, and I need to pay him salary, and then that's something I don't have. But imagine, that's years ago, 5 years ago, I had it already, and I was trained in ISS Yemen. I did not intend to have these stuff. I did not intend that I will study and then I will go to the training using ISS Yemen, the voluntary work, and then I will implement it in my work. That was not the plan. I didn't think about it. But it happened that most of the things that I have now was just like that. Mostly because of that reason. I like to go to troubles. I'm sort of curious. If I see someone who is good at talking, presenting in front of the people, I want to be like, what is the difference between me and him? If I see someone who has, if he has 4 CGPA, what is the difference between me and him? There has to be like a way. He's a human, I'm human. There is no difference. He has the same mind I have. So that's the way I think. And yeah, that's about the past. I'm very grateful. I'm proud, in 2 words. For the current or the present, I think I'm putting my ultimate effort in everything I have. That's including study, that's include my business and my social life, personal, which is the most difficult one of them. It's not the business, it's not the study.
I think when it comes to the question of Maryam was basically about your emotional being, but then I think there is a lot to do with the way you balance between the activities you do and your academics and your social life. So like, what's balancing your life like in being Omar, being you?
Okay. In the last 2 years, I would say, which I was in when I was in ISS Yemen, treasurer and then the president. See, most of the students as a student, will think about how do you manage your time. It's not the how to, it's like why you do it. If you know why you do it, you will do it. You will figure it out. The way is your way, but the how to, it's not the how to. The reason, you should have it. It's like if I told you now, what makes you come to this library, and then make me our interview me, and then bring your laptop, and then maybe you took a Grab. What made you do this?
There's a saying in English, they say, if you know the why, you know the how.
You know the how. So it's like, if I have to answer your question, how do you manage your time, I have to also answer your question why you are doing it, which is, I'm not qualified, it's you who should answer. That's as easy as it is. And most of the time, it's sacrificing. I believe that every time you need to achieve something, you need to sacrifice something. What to sacrifice, that's something else. But you must sacrifice something. It can be time, it can be money, it can be effort, it can be health. You need to sacrifice something in order to get something. It's not like I will get them all. I can study and get for flat, and then I also be very social, and then I will be very, very healthy, going every day to gym, and I will have my business, and then you cannot do all of these. You must sacrifice one of them in order for the others to grow.
You have to prioritize.
Yes,
indeed.
Based on your needs, and there is no wrong and right. Yeah. So if you tell me now what's your CGPA, I'm not going to answer. But no, my CGPA at the time, when I was struggling at my first year, it was below 2.5. Now it's more than 3.5.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I have the last semester now to make it better. I have no problem with saying the CGPA. It's not why you didn't make it better than that? Because it's not my priority. I had to prioritize things. So for me, I prioritize business. And this certificate is just a certificate that I will just use it. It's just a tool. For other people, it might be the only path that they are looking for. For me, it's not. So it's personal preference.
Now, moving on to organizing extracurricular activities and events. Well, everybody knows, in case you still don't know, everybody knows that Omar was the person behind the organization of the Arabic Culture Day and the great success that it had. And so we wanted to know, since it was voted the best so far, what inspired you to lead or manage the event? And what do you think actually made it such a success?
I actually get this question a lot. How did you do it? And what makes you do it in the first place? See, it started by let's do it better than the previous one. That's how it started.
It was a challenge.
Yeah, let's just do it better. But how better? We don't know. At that time, I didn't know the whole. I didn't know how many participants. I didn't know even the volunteers. How much should I appoint? I don't know anything. I just have the idea that it should be better than the last one. And from there, you need to carry on. Especially in an environment like because I'm a student at the end, I cannot go any farther by doing anything like any big arrangements. It's different from, like let's say now in business, if you want to go to deal business wise, it's you business to business. So yes, his business maybe is older, he's better, he's bigger company, but still you are business, his business.
But at the end, you're on the same pedestal.
Yeah.
So you have some standards that you need to follow.
Exactly. But as a student, you are here, lower, and then they are on top always. So your arrangements are always not arrangements, are actually requests. Yep. So you need to request. And then there is a waiting time. Then they will give you the feedback. And most of the time it was no.
So you got to refuse a lot of stuff.
No. I had to figure it out to make it yes. It's just no. Are you insane? they were telling me like, Omar, do you drink? Did you get any drugs?
Oh my Lord.
Are you like aware of these numbers that you are asking for? I understand. It is insane, but that's the only way it could amaze. After so many discussions, that's only one perspective of how it was. But financial wise. And then at the end, they said, listen, we see something in you. Because we didn't see before something like this, because it didn't happen. So we see something in your eyes. Okay, we will give you the the benefit of the doubt. Okay, but then you need to make sure of one thing, which is make sure of the VIPs to attend, means ambassadors.
To leverage the event.
Yeah, if you get this, it's okay. Even if it failed, no problem. That's financial wise. I told them okay, and at that time I did not even speak to anyone. Yeah, you just need to say okay. Yeah, okay. And then you go figure it out. You go and solve it. By the way, that's also our Vice Chancellor. That's why I like him, Prof. Ahmed Fawzi. That's why I like him personally. Because he's the same type of a person who likes to solve problems, not having it and then just feel sad at the corner. It doesn't work like that. Problems are there to be solved. Yeah, so I like problems because I like to have them solved. And that's a very nice, way of life, that whenever you solve a problem, you get promoted automatically. So just like now, you said, oh my God, wow, Omar, you did. It's not like I wanted to be promoted, but because I solved this problem, it's a challenge. I got promoted immediately. So it's easy. You have more problems, you have more solutions, you get more promotions, you be the best of your best. As a matter of fact, I had the option to do much less than, and no one will even notice. It's totally fine. You do design, what do you call it? Any sort of design, pictures, I mean.
Graphic design.
Graphic design? Oh.
If you do this, you know that there are some details that are ignorable from many people, but it does affect.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's like shadow, okay?
The
if you
theme
put a
of
shadow,
color,
Yeah, no, this is very main. Like, let's say the shadow. You put an item, a ball, and then you need to put a shadow for it. Some of the people, they don't put shadow because they say no one will notice.
It makes a difference.
It makes the depth of field for that project. It's very simple, but no one knows. Only you. You will know that people, the normal people who don't know anything about designing, they will notice that this one is better than this. If you ask them why, they will not say why. They don't know. It just looks better. Yeah. Who knows? It's you. I was like that. I was focusing on these details that will make people, say that this is nice. Yeah. It wasn't 100%, just like any other project, I believe. And considering that these are all efforts of students, the team was like working since 6 months before the day of the event. 6 months. Preparation, documentation, like there is 60% of it just documentation. And if there is a mistake in the documentation, there is a mistake in the implementation. Especially here in Malaysia, that's how the system is, even business-wise. They cannot proceed with any operation or anything that they can provide to you unless there is a document.
An official recommendation from an official body recognized.
And every paper of this, imagine you need to go and certify it, every single paper. And then who is going to certify it is another thing, because I'm just a student. I don't know your stuff, guys. Please help me. I just want this event to happen. So they say, no, this paper, you need to go and get it stamped from this office. And that office will tell you, oh my God, the manager is not here. Maybe the acting manager will do it, but I don't know if that will work or not. So the acting manager is stamping, and then I go and say, no, they will not accept. Then how? We should wait for the guy. The guy is traveling abroad. He's not here. Then how? So I should rephrase how the wordings of the document is to match his position, which is the acting manager. And then the acting manager will have the authority to stamp it. Otherwise, he doesn't have. So it's very complicated. It's a lot of secretarial work that I got to learn. Like I'm very grateful that I got to learn it. It will make you think that I should do at least a bit better, because I already sacrificed a lot. I already solved this whole things. Oh, let's do it. Only this simple last one.
Tiny bit better.
Tiny, but it doesn't work like that. There's always coming and coming.
There's always something more to do.
I remember even the MCs, I was telling them, they were telling me, just give us the finalized script. Tell them there will be no finalized script. The finalized script will be when you are in the stage on the night. That's the finalized. The one you read it, that's the finalized. And yes, it was true. We had to make
They
amendments
changed a lot of stuff.
during the. Tell them, do not expect more than this. That's how it is. It's not me. That's how it is. Believing in this stuff, I think, made it possible to reach.
The event was a great success, and it was
Yeah,
voted
that's
the
true.
best, as everybody knows. I think everybody's going to remember the ACD Agriculture Day, Alhamdulillah, 2022.
Yeah, that there is something I want to highlight in here. Financial wise, it was more than third of the budget. Yeah, more than third of the budget was only allocated for branding. You see these cups, the flyers, the logo everywhere, the advertisement. More of the third.
I think marketing was everything.
Of course,
It was like
absolutely.
really important.
Absolutely. If you don't, there's a saying actually: bad marketing makes good product bad. Good marketing makes bad products good.
It's funny that you say that, because recently I was I saw a clip from a podcast. I don't know if you know it, Finjan. Basically, they had on board. The guest was the owner of a makeup company, a very famous makeup company in the Middle East, and the guy was saying that they paid 100 million riyals just for marketing. That shows how huge the budget is, and it's really successful. If you go in literally every single beauty store, you're gonna find that brand over there. So that tells a lot.
Yep.
Marketing makes a difference.
There is the conversion for $1. I forgot the term, but it's something like the conversion for per $1 in the marketing. That's how they measure it. They don't measure it on how much you spend. They measure it on how much you earned
As a return.
per $1 you spent. So if you spend 100 million, you need to get 400 million as minimum. That's the minimum average in business.
A ratio of 4.
Yeah, and then most of there's like a standard. Sometimes you can get 100%. It's like if you spend $1, you need to get in return $100. So this is a very successful project, and it's not difficult actually. It's very easy, especially with the tools we have these days.
Okay, so back to our topic. What were the traits that helped you control, or not? Let's not say control. Let's say lead the ACD. So what motivated you, and what from your traits helped you fulfill the ACD?
So what character actually helps you, if I get it correct?
Let me just understand the question. Is it like
As
you want
a
it to be
leadership?
like in a form of how to do it if it's someone else, or like an advice form?
Yes.
Or
So
my
like
experience.
for someone who wants to become a better leader,
Okay.
what were the traits that helped you achieve your goal?
Okay, now I got your question. Okay. As I told you from the beginning, for me, it always just happens for me. I've never I didn't go to YouTube and then watch these videos of, human resources, yeah? And then you go and then got, motivated to do something. It doesn't work like that. It always starts from me, from solving the problem. But from my experience, I would suggest that you need to go out of your comfort zone. That's number one. You need to say welcome, cheers to the problem. And when I say problems, people think that problems means have a car accident. That's a problem.
Obstacles.
These are absolutely big problems. But problems means, you see now I want you to imagine your apartment, the door of your toilet, and then the door of your room, let's say, makes sound, or it does not close properly. You need to put some technique to close it. That's a problem. That's a problem. And it is stupid from you if you just ignore it. That's how I see it. Because if you ignore that one, that means you will ignore many others. You see it as it's insignificant, but it affects you. When you come home very mad or tired, you will have to deal with that door, that stubborn door. And the solution for it maybe is just from DIY. It will cost you, I don't think it's more than 10 ringgits overall. So you need to consider these as problems. Once you consider them as problems, then you will go to the solution, which will build your character. You will learn so many things in between while you are learning or while you are solving. Just like me, when I didn't know anything about this carterial and then paperwork and then stuff, but I had to learn it. And it's not learning. It's I say it as learning, but when it happens, it's actually experience. It just happens, and then acquiring it. That's right. So the first one is just get out of your comfort zone. And the second is considering the problems as something good, not bad.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, when you first came here, were you like a social person or were you like an introvert?
For me, my I don't want to put it like that, but my family are my father's side are more introvert, and my mother's side are more extrovert. I was a mix between both.
An ambivert.
Ambivert, yeah.
Now, I want to know...
That's a word? Okay.
Yeah, so there's a word for people who are mixed between the two. Introverts and extroverts.
Okay, finally.
But then now, it all amounts to the proportion of which one is in your character. So like, how would you give the proportion
much?
of...
Okay.
Yeah, how much of an introvert are you and how
As
how
a
much
ratio,
of
yeah, okay.
a percentage?
Okay, I'm more introvert, I would say. 60-40.
60-40. Great.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Interesting.
I'm more
Very
introvert.
interesting.
I know, right?
That's why I said in the beginning, it's very hard. The social life is the hardest part.
Oh.
Yeah, because let's say while I was building or while I was working on the SED, I had to sacrifice so many things. One of them is going out with my friends. I have to attend meetings. Well, alhamdulillah, most of them are involved. Yeah, so only few of them, yeah. But that's just an example that I have to sacrifice something. And people will not like it because you're, 1 month, 2 months, well, forever, always
6
like that?
months?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So they will not understand you, and it will affect you. It affected my family, actually. I was not contacting them for a lot of time. Because of the time difference, and that time difference made it much more difficult for me to find the time to call them.
But it helps if they're understanding, if they know that you're busy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I do is just I tell them that nowadays I'm busy with this. It's going to be a big one, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And
it was.
so I don't tell them that I'm not going to. I'll call you this weekend. And this weekend comes and I don't because of the time. It's whether when they are free, I am not, and when I'm free, they are not because of the time.
Mismatch.
Yeah.
International student problems.
Living abroad.
Yes.
Speaking about international students, I want to know, what do you see as the biggest challenges that international students face at the university, and how can they work to overcome these challenges?
Do you want me to be very honest or just honest?
Be very honest, but before you continue, because it's hard as new students when you come into a new country. First of all, you have to adapt to the nature of the country, you have to adapt to the people. Then you have to adapt to the studies, the nature of studies. A lot of us come from high school, and so the way of studying in university is very different from high school itself. So there's a lot of change that come into play. And so how would you see that international students need to overcome these challenges?
We have to understand first that international students are named international student thankfully from these people of this environment. You will tell me how. See, in India they are not calling them international student. They call them foreigners. It's different.
That tells a lot about the way they accept
And
you
they
as
think
a foreigner. First
about
of all.
you. Yep. So that's a very good thing here in Malaysia that they call you international student. They don't mention about it, but it's a very significant thing. But we need to understand, even though they accept us to be one part of their society diversity, we need also to understand that this is not our country. So as international student, we need to adapt, not them adapt to us. We need to adapt to them, to their culture, to their society, to their way of working. And yes, everyone will complain, but you need to stop complaining at some point. And that's what I'm not seeing with international students. They keep complaining until they graduate. For 4 years, maybe more, he or she will just keep complaining.
They never actually try to mingle with the people of the country itself.
Exactly. So actually, I prefer, I'm not saying that these things that you are complaining about are right or not, or you should ignore it or not.
It's subjective anyways.
It's subjective, and Most of them actually you can turn them to be good by some efforts. Yes, you can do it. As part of them is making the international students' voice audible, heard in that university or in a country in general. And how to do that is not by protest. By the way, something like this happened before in UTM by one of the nationalities.
Oh, so you
Oh,
said,
there was a protest.
Yeah, they were protesting here in front of the Chancellor building. They are protesting because of they want to be heard. That's not the right way. We need to adapt to their way of systems, and not them adapt to our needs. We need to do it the proper way. I believe this is the same thing in our countries. If we need to change anything, we need to do it the right way.
we need to take actions, not blab about it.
Exactly. And in Islam, we don't say الغاية تبرر الوسيلة. Wasila matters. Way matters. Always the way matters. So that's something that we always complain about as international students. You should not keep complaining. You should start doing. If you cannot do, then stop complaining. Because neither complaining, neither you not doing anything will do anything.
It's not going to help anyway.
Yeah. So just why just focus on whatever you have. If you want to change something, welcome, and let's change it. That's one thing about international students. But honestly speaking, about Arabics or Arabians, they are more. It's not like they are more introvert, but there is this superiority. Like even in culture, when they see the weird culture, which is very pretty.
That's a very diplomatic way to say racism.
Oh my God. That's very honest.
I'm
Yeah,
not to
I
be
know,
a
right?
diplomatic speaker. So when you don't like or when you see some cultures weird, you don't say or you laugh at, or you need to respect. You don't see them here. You see them as because you have your own and they have their own. You just need to respect it. That's something with Arab people which will prevent them from so many things, and it will affect the whole society, not only one person, most of the time.
So if I summarize what you say, for international students, they need to adapt first of all and try to mingle with the people of the country and get to know their environment better instead of complaining.
Yep. 100%.
And see people as their equals at the end of the day, because we're all students, we're all here together. We're supposed to be, as we say, at-takatuf in Arabic. We're in this together.
Yeah, absolutely. The only downside that every time we need someone, only one person, to take the wave, to take the first action. That's very challenging sometimes.
Do you have any regrets, like starting this journey all the way back from Yemen? Like, do you have any regrets?
I don't have regrets. I don't ever. I don't have any regrets. That's just me. But if there are some things that I would rather, no, actually, no, there is none.
You would not change anything.
Nope. I would actually.
Add more
I'm
problems?
wishing that I will go to make it better. That's it. But it's not to a point where I regret it. No, just
Because
happened
everything
because-
happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You would repeat every step of the
So,
way.
as a matter of fact, so many bad things happened to me. Turned out were a very good reason for the good things that I'm having now. Very good reason. Without them, I would never have them.
وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا
I was
وهو خير
about to
لكم،
say.
وعسى أن
I was
تحبوا
thinking
شيئا
about saying.
وهو شر لكم. So maybe you're gonna hate something and it's actually good for you,
Yeah.
or you like something and it's actually
I'll
bad
see
for
this
you.
practically.
And the one Miriam just mentioned, عجبا لأمر المؤمن فإن أمره كله له خير.
100%.
Like the affair of the believer, everything that happens to him is for something good. If it's something bad, he becomes patient and it's something good for him. He thanks Allah and it's
Yeah,
something
but
good for him as well.
it's funny because as Muslims, we only know this like belief wise. We need just to believe.
Not
we
in
need-
action.
Not in action. For me, I'm very grateful that I had the time and the opportunity to live it, to experience it, which is hard. It's like Musa people, Ben Israel. It was hard for Musa to convince them, just like many prophets, right? But then Allah is giving them miracles to show them practically that this is true religion. And I was very lucky to have this opportunity.
Before, because we're going towards the end of this podcast, but I'd like to know, so you recently started a new company called Edumize. Can you please tell us more about it?
Okay, Edumize is the solution of my first problem when I came to Malaysia. First up, that's how it can define itself. Because I already said how I started and how it could be better. And I saw many worse conditions. Imagine, for me, I was just in Korea, and I was that kind of person who is going to asking. Many students are not having this ability, or even, it's not ability, it's like they don't know that they should do this. For me, I know. Okay, so imagine there are so many students who are paying equally, just like any international student who got the support financial wise, and mentally way worse than those who
they
are
don't
equal
get the
to them.
same support.
They don't get the same support.
So if I understand, Edumize basically not only helps people get into the universities, but they also take them through the steps.
Exactly. That's why we are different from the others, because we are students, and the others in the market are, some of them are also students, but not as our experience. The experience we had was a bit unique. Speaking about myself and the team who was working with me, we have been involved in these ISS things, so we know better about what students think about. That's why we can solve the problem from its roots. Actually, we can solve the problem before it happens. Unlike so many agents.
To prevent it, you mean?
Yeah, prevent it. No, sometimes it's solved, because it is going to happen. It's already like it started, but it's still not affecting the client. But document-wise, the dates booked, the everything, it's going to be a problem, 100%. So we already solve it before it happens, because we can see it, we can predict. That's something. The other thing is that was just an extension of, me personally, that was just an extension of what I was doing in ISS Yemen. In order to, especially here in Malaysia, in order to help anyone, you need to have, by the way, this is a very true info. In order to help anyone, any individual in this country, you need to have some kind of authority, privilege. Even if you have seen any accident in the street, you don't know, right? You cannot simply stop and then just help. There was a case where one of the students, Yemeni students, who stopped and held the guy. The guy and the other guy, the other party, turned against this Yemeni guy. Imagine. They said he is the one.
Oh.
Imagine.
Holy.
Yeah, and then the police, even without them saying anything about this, in the police will tell you, who are you? Why you are here? In the hospital, when you are taking that person, the first police, there is a staff there who in the emergency, who will take your info, why you were there. If you are lucky, there are some times that you are lucky, they will just consider you, because that guy sees you as a good person. So it depends on that guy in the emergency, if he sees you as a good person or sees you as a part of this conflict or this problem or this accident. So if in order to help anyone in this country, you need to have some sort of authority. I lost it once I left ISS Yemen. So that's why I cannot help someone. Even when I go to UTM International for visa or whatever, they have to tell me that. They'll tell me, Omar, by the way, you're not the president anymore. So,
ouch. That's a hurt.
So that doesn't feel right. You come here to help someone, and then you face this.
Okay, so last question. Considering that you're in your final year and you just started a new company, where do you see yourself? How are you going to manage the company while at the same time graduating? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
It's very difficult, and I really, I don't have any idea. It's very challenging. Now I have so many assignments. Next week I have my first test and quizzes, and I'm still in the middle of so many things. But I believe it's okay. I figured out so many bigger things than this, and this one will be just figured
It'll
out.
pass.
It will just pass. Yeah. It's better than doing nothing. I will regret if I didn't do it. Yeah, I will regret it. Really. I'm actually sometimes regretting not starting earlier.
That's actually for a lot of things that we do in life. I see it in myself whenever I find something good, or I start a small business or anything. I feel like, why did I not start earlier? But then there was a reason why I didn't start earlier. Maybe if I started earlier, it wouldn't have worked, So at
You
the end
wouldn't
of the
have
day,
the experience you have now.
The reason that's experiencing is not considered as a reason. You need to start, because I'm a perfectionist. I like to start when everything is 100% perfect. But that's wrong. That's totally wrong. You need to start with whatever you have, and then it will work itself out. As long as you have your passion.
Inshallah.
Do you have any advice for the listeners that are listening to our podcast?
Say welcome to problems. Problems are life. If you want to be successful, take problems. Without problems, you cannot go anywhere.
Choose the harder way. There's actually a book called The Obstacle is the Way. So it's all about managing your way through problems. That's actually what makes who you are.
Actually,
it builds your character.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, Omar. It's been a very pleasant episode. Do you have one last thing to say?
No, I think I said a lot. I'm one of those who are talking a lot, so sorry to take more of your time. Thank you
we
for
really
the-
enjoyed
No,
it.
it's
Yeah, it
actually
was-
really
for
interesting.
hosting.
It was
Amazing.
very interesting, and we hope that we will have you another day on the podcast.
Inshallah.
Allah.
Very informative.
Thank you so much, Omar.
Thank you.
Thank you for listeners. I hope this podcast or this episode specifically was very beneficial to you. And see you on the next one, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.